In this video, Veronika Poniatowski from ZonGuru shows how you can beat your competitors by choosing the most relevant keywords for your Amazon product based on different data points from ZonGuru tools. ZonGuru is an all-in-one tool suite perfect for all Amazon business needs. If you want to try ZonGuru by yourself, find the link below, also a special offer which gives you 20% off any plan. And this video is hosted by Lisette Lees. She works with different Amazon brands, and as always, click the like button if you enjoy our videos and subscribe to our channel.
Hi Veronika, I'm really happy to have you here today. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in ZonGuru?
Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here today. So my name is Veronika and I'm part of the ZonGuru team. I'm ZonGuru's brand evangelist and also business development manager. And I'm also an Amazon seller myself. And what ZonGuru is basically we are an all-in-one tool suite which supports Amazon businesses on every step along the Amazon journey. So we do from product research, listing optimization to automation tools. So basically every step we have you covered. And many of our members, as I said, including myself, we are Amazon sellers. So the Amazon tools have been created for you from the perspective of an Amazon seller as well.
Okay, sounds really good. And today we'll share some tips about how Amazon sellers can beat their competitors. So I know you have prepared the slide deck for us as well. So let's go ahead, share your screen and see what you have.
So today I'm going to be talking about how to guarantee your listing beats your competition. So I did firstly want to outline a little bit of what exactly are you going to hear from me today. So firstly, why does your listing matter? Number two, understand the building blocks of your listing. So this is keywords, what tools you need to use to create an awesome listing, and then how to use or how to learn how to optimize your listing from a keyword optimization standpoint. So that's the 4 points that I hope you gain at the end of this presentation. So firstly, what is a listing? So I want to go back to basics because when you understand the basic principles, I feel like then when it gets to the complicated stuff, you're like, of course, this is why it matters. So obviously your listing is your storefront. It is the product page of what you're selling on Amazon. And your listing or your product page includes, there are many components. So you've got your images, your title, your price point, your bullet points, and your product description. So today when I'm talking about listing optimization, I am specifically talking about your title and your dot points. That is specifically what I'm targeting today. In saying that, obviously your images play a massive role as well, but today we are strictly talking about more so the words on the page than anything else. So why is your listing important? So obviously it is your storefront, but getting your product listing right will determine your success on Amazon. It doesn't matter how good your product is. If your listing is not working, if your customers can't find your listing and can't find your product, then no one's buying it. So that is why it is so important that you get the work done and get it done at the beginning, not halfway, not at the end, right at the beginning from day dot. So how do you get it right? The key to creating an awesome listing is your keywords. You need to know your most relevant, impactful, and powerful keywords. So what are keywords? So I love talking about keywords because keywords, or knowing what your keywords are, you need to be aware of them at every step of your Amazon journey. So product research, your listing optimization, which we're talking about right now, but also your PPC campaign. So it happens all, you need to be aware of them through your whole journey and you're always going back to them. So having a clear understanding at the beginning is also going to help you in your next steps. So why are keywords important, or what are they? Firstly, we need to acknowledge that Amazon is essentially a huge search engine. And what Amazon keywords are the search terms or the phrases that people type into Amazon to find your product. And obviously the importance of that is that if you're using the wrong keywords, your clients or your customers, your target audiences are not going to find you. That's why you need to know what your keywords are. How do you know what your most impactful, powerful, and relevant keywords are? You need to use a tool. It doesn't matter what you think they are, doesn't matter what your partner thinks they are. You actually need to use a tool. And I want to also talk on the point of different marketplaces. Every marketplace behaves differently. So you need to make sure that your research, specifically your keyword research, is unique to that marketplace. So if I use an example, for example, I live in Australia, but I sell in the US. So there are, our cultural differences are quite small. However, we do use different terminologies. For example, we use barbecue, we use everywhere. Whereas in America, the word grill is used more frequently over there. So just things like that. If you're not aware of that, you're literally leaving money on the table. So that's why, again, you need to use a tool, because it doesn't matter what you think, you need to use a tool in that marketplace. Now, ZonGuru, the tool that I'm going to be talking is Keywords on Fire. So our Keywords on Fire tool is a reverse ASIN lookup, which collects your most relevant and impactful keywords from your top 25 competitors, as well as your customers. And it gives you a range of data points. Now, depending on what stage in your Amazon journey you're up to, you will look at specific data points. And in a moment, I will be doing a live demo to show you exactly what I mean by that. But firstly, we've got our Keywords on Fire, and the tool is going to collect all those keywords. So you're thinking, all right, you've spoken about keywords, but you haven't mentioned anything about the listing being better than the competitors. So the reason I am talking so closely about keywords is because our Keywords on Fire and our listing optimization tool work hand in hand. To create an awesome listing, you first need to be aware of your keywords. So you run a Keywords on Fire session, you save a session, and then you open up our listing optimizer tool. Now, our listing optimizer tool does a few things. Firstly, it lets you optimize your Amazon listing to make sure that they include all the best high profit keywords that buyers use to find your product. But the tool also allows you to compare your listing side by side with your competitors, and also shows you your competitors' back-end search terms, which gives you a major advantage in the market, knowing exactly what your competitors are using, because obviously you can't see that on their storefront when you are on Amazon. So that's something that our tool has over many of our competitors. So now that you know what exactly I need to create a listing, I'm going to show you how. So just for your reference, I'm going to pretend that I'm selling these resistance bands. I'm in Australia. Australia is the second fastest growing marketplace in the world. So I'm deciding to launch a product in Australia, and I'm launching something like this. So this is my example. And in a moment, now I'm going to swap over and show you how exactly to use our tools to create a listing for this product. Alrighty, so this is ZonGuru's dashboard. Now, ZonGuru has 16 tools, and they are all integrated with the 4 major marketplaces available. All our tools are on the left-hand side, and they are divided into categories, again, based on where you are up to on your Amazon journey. So for our keyword research, it does live under listing optimization, but as I said, keywords are used at every stage. So in a moment, I'm going to show you how to run this session. So Keywords on Fire, reverse ASIN lookup. So you can use up to 25 ASINs to collect this information, or you can do add products by phrase. So I'm going to show you products by phrase. I'm going to write in resistance band. I'm going to make sure that it's in the Australian marketplace because that's where I'm looking. I'm going to go search. Now, what our tool does, it collects the top 25 competitors that are ranking for the keywords resistance bands. Now, I usually go select all, but I also like to scroll through and make sure all the products are actually relevant, because sometimes they're not. So for example, this is now a book. I'm selling the bands, so I don't want to have the book details, so I can just unselect it like so. Add products, I write in the name, resistance bands, Australia, and run keyword analysis. So this can take up to 3 to 5 minutes. So for the sake of time, I did run one earlier. So you click the I here. And as you can see, Keywords on Fire gives you so many data points. Now, I'm not going to be diving into Keywords on Fire because we will have another video explaining exactly what these data points mean. So I just want to show you generally what Keywords on Fire does and how we can actually save a keywords list to then use in our listing optimizer tool. But as you can see here, Keywords on Fire has gathered 309 unique keywords from 25 competitors. The total revenue of these keywords is $1.7 million. Now, remember, if you're thinking that this is a low number, remember this is the Australian marketplace. So it is a little bit different than the US marketplace. We're still in its infancy, but we are growing as well. And this is the total search volume in the last 30 days as well. As you can see, we've got all the words, plenty of data points. Now, say I've analyzed my data points and I am now ready to save these keywords, because remember, these are the keywords that my competitors are using and my customers are using to search for the product resistance bands. So I obviously want these keywords in my listing. So what I do here is actually save them here, and resistance band, and save. So I've saved those keywords. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to our next tool, our listing optimizer. And here I'm going to show you exactly how you can make sure that your listing is beating your competition. So we'll go to listing optimizer, and I'm going to show you from scratch here. So we're going to go session name, resistance band. Again, marketplace is very important. Every marketplace is going to be different. And we're going to start session. So our listing optimizer tool does two things, okay? On the left-hand side, we are going to show up or collect the keywords that we got from Keywords on Fire. So you can go add here, import from Keywords on Fire. I'm going to find my resistance band list. Here it is. I want to import all. And it's going to load up all those relevant keywords. And as you can see here, there are already some data points, which I'm going to touch back in a moment. Now, on the right-hand side, this is where we're going to create a listing. So firstly, I need to create my own listing. Because I haven't yet done it, I click on the plus and I'm going to go blank listing, and I'm going to call my brand Move It. Okay, that's my brand, add listing. So as you can see here, this is a skeleton listing, if you like. There is optimization score is 0. My title, bullet points, everything is there ready for me to fill in. However, I also want to see what my competitors are doing. And what this tool does, as I mentioned earlier, is you can directly compare side by side your competitors. So here I am on amazon.com.au and I have my competition. Okay, I have all my competitors here. And I've got my ZonGuru Chrome extension, and I can see this #1 here means the #1 top click listing for this keyword. I want to save its ASIN, so I can click on this. I'm going to go back to ZonGuru, click on the plus, and I can directly import the ASIN into this listing. And as you'll see in a moment, all the data points from that listing are now here. We've got title, we've got bullet points. Now I can do this to up to 8 listings. I'm going to go back to Amazon and maybe get one more for the sake of this example. Okay, I've got 2 of my competitors side by side. So what data, apart from their listing, is showing up? Firstly, we have this optimization score. So this optimization score is the overall quality of your listing, calculated by the strength of the keywords used and where they are placed. So there is a score. And basically, we want to beat this score. This score is based on our keywords here. So as you can see, I'm running my mouse over the keywords, and there is green on the right. And you can see where the keywords are in our competitors' listing. This tick indicates that the keyword is included in the listing, the star colored in, exact match in title, or broad match. So you can also see what keywords they haven't taken advantage of over here. So that's #1. We have the comparison. We need to beat this score. The second thing that is a major benefit and advantage is knowing what your competitors use in their back-end search terms. So this is that. Now, if you're unaware what the back-end search terms are, these are words. So for example, it's stretching, it's exercise spelled incorrectly. They've got a whole list of words basically that they still want their listing to appear on, but they don't actually want to share it or show it on the listing on their storefront on Amazon. So this is more so for Amazon's algorithm, and it is a major benefit to know what your competitors are doing here. So there we have it. We have our competitors, we've got 19,000, our other competitors, 15,000. So we can see that this one here is the one to beat. We have the combined search volume of the keywords that they have used in their listing and the combined revenue. So now, how do I make mine better? So what you actually do is remember a few things. Your title is your most expensive real estate. You want to make the most of your title and put your strongest impactful keywords in your title. But you also need to remember that your title, or your whole listing, in fact, needs to actually inform and give value to your customers. We don't want to cram them with keywords, because our customers can pick up if it doesn't make sense, if it doesn't flow, if it's just crammed with keywords, automatically they're like, oh, this is spam. I don't like the feel. I'm going to go next product. So you need to use the keywords, but it also needs to make sense and be relevant to your product. So what you would do is, I've had a bit of time to look over these keywords and create a title that makes sense. So I'm going to start writing my title, and I would like you to watch as my listing optimization score starts to increase as I add. So it's calculating live time as I type and edit my listing. So I'm going to put my brand there, because I feel like I want to put my brand there. So my resistant bands that I showed you earlier, they were fabric. So I want to say that they're fabric resistance. Sorry, I'm all in capitals. Fabric resistance loop band set. And then we've got exercise bands, booty stretch bands, band training workout for whole body, and then gym, exercise and fitness equipment. Now, all of these words, I haven't just pulled them out of air trying to describe them. I've actually pulled them out on the left-hand side there. And as you can see, my listing optimization score has picked it up. So just by putting the most relevant keywords that I have gathered from the left-hand side here, my score has increased. I see that I've spelled exercise wrong here. There we are. So now, even from misspelt, my score has gone up. Here you can see that these stars indicate that I have broadly used it in my title, exact match. And as I scroll down, there is more. What you can also see is here, these words are no longer bold. When they're no longer bold, means that I have used that word in my listing as well. If it is still bold, it means that I can still add it. So as you can see, I've actually already used my keywords better than my competitors only by my first sentence in my title. I haven't even gone through my bullet points. Obviously, bullet points are super important, but now you can actually use your bullet points to, explain the features of the band. So for example, if my bands had several different resistances, or again, about the fabric, why is this fabric better than the elastic? I know that it pinches and it pulls your hair on your legs, for example. So you'd use your bullet points to actually describe the features of your product and give your customers value. What pain points are you trying to solve? Instead of just, again, cramming it with keywords, because I've already utilized my keywords here. And additionally, now I'm actually going to go to my keywords, and by clicking on them here, so these are the keywords that I haven't yet used. So under sun resistance band, I'm assuming that's a brand. By clicking them, I'm actually adding these to my backend search terms. So if I scroll down here, these words are automatically showing up on my backend search terms, and I can keep on going as well. Make sure they are relevant. Don't just add them because for the sake of adding it, because otherwise you are wasting space, because there's always word counts on these kind of sections as well. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've added a few of these, exercise terms, but I don't exactly want to add them to my listing because maybe it's not relevant to my listing. As I said, I'm still yet to do my bullet points. I'm not going to go through the bullet points right here, right now, but for example, it could be, the pain point. So what results am I going? So you want to describe the pain point, the different resistances. So these are the kind of so you would be talking about in your bullet points. But as you go up, as you can see, my listing optimization score is now over 24,000. So these are my two top competitors, remember. One of them at 15,000 and this one is at 19,000. So from doing this research and writing my listing in this way, I know that I have out-optimized my competitors and therefore have a better chance of showing up on page one and using the keywords that my customers are using. So that is a very high level example of how to use this tool. What the cool thing is about this tool now, because I know a lot of effort goes into this, especially when you start your description as well. People get stressed about copying and pasting. Now your ZonGuru account is connected to your Seller Central account, so there's no copying or pasting in either directions. I'm already connected to your Seller Central account, so you would in fact just go to this, publish on Amazon, follow the prompts. My demo account is not connected to Amazon, so I'm not going to go through, but you basically follow the prompts and it actually publishes all of this straight onto your listing on Amazon. And then the only thing that you're waiting on is actually for Amazon to approve those changes. So it makes this process so streamlined, so simple, very little room for error, if you like.
Thank you very much, Veronica, for such a detailed overview and showing us how to do keyword research and build up the listing. So I wanted to ask, does adding keywords to different places in the listing page help to increase the ranking of the product?
So as I said earlier on, we call the title the most valuable or expensive real estate. So we do highly encourage, it's not formally stated by Amazon that this is the case, but we do believe that having the stronger, more impactful words in your title, that's where you take advantage of it. So placing the most relevant words in your title. So doing that number one, but obviously having your relevant keywords throughout your listing is also important. However, repeating the same keyword over and over again doesn't increase your ranking. So if you've included it once in the title, fantastic. And then if it comes up again in your bullet points because it just flows as a sentence, that's fantastic. But don't feel like you need to add it, bands, resistance, bands, because it's one of the keywords, because that's not going to increase your ranking.
Okay, very good. And you're a seller yourself, so today you didn't talk about A+ image keywords, but I wanted to ask your opinion. What kind of keywords do you usually add to A++? Do you use the same ones you use already in the listing, or do you usually like to use totally another keywords for that one?
No, so with our keywords, so with the keyword searching that we do via Keywords on Fire, those are your most relevant keywords. So it's depending on, you can make separate listings in saved listings in your Keywords on Fire if you have particular filters that you want to put on those keywords. But because these keywords that I've added into my listing, they are the keywords that my customers are using and that my competitors are using. There's not additional keywords that I'm going to add to that. If anything, it would be more so refining it if I wanted to.
Okay, very good. And are there any keywords sellers should avoid adding to the listing? I know in your demo, I think you had one like branded keyword. So would you usually, for example, use other brand names in your front-end listing?
So there are definitely keywords that Amazon doesn't like you using. Brand names it is one of them, but I've put that in my backend search terms. So I wouldn't be putting, Nike in my title, for example, Nike resistance band. That's a no, but you can put them in your backend term search terms. There are also keywords not relevant really to this product, but for example, like biodegradable, for example, these keywords actually are flagged, and you need to provide more proof and certificates to Amazon that your product is in fact biodegradable, for example. So there are a few elements like that, or keywords that you need to take into consideration when you are describing your product as well, because Amazon does like to play around with that as well.
Yeah, okay, very good. All right, Veronica. So if our viewers would like to learn more about ZonGuru and also about these tools, then what's the best way to learn more about it and how to contact you?
All right, so if you were curious about our tools and would like to know more, and more so if you're actually in this kind of phase yourself, so you've maybe done a bit of product research, or you're creating your listing, or you actually have no idea where to start, but you do, we actually have our quick starter challenge. And basically this is a 13-day challenge, and each day you get tutorial videos, step-by-step process. And the goal of these 13 days is by the end of the 13 days, you actually have a product, you're talking to suppliers, and you're getting ready for the next stage. So if you're wanting more assistance, a little bit, someone holding your hand through this process, that is the challenge for you. So we'll pass on the link. And hopefully I do a lot of the trainings there as well. We have a lot of weekly live trainings where we get live Q&As, and I'm one of the trainers who takes that as well. So maybe I'll see you there live asking me questions there too.
Awesome. So again, thank you a lot and wish good luck in your business.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and as I already mentioned, ZonGuru helps you with all aspects of your Amazon FBA business. If you want to try ZonGuru for yourself, find a special offer of 20% off any plans and the link below in the description of this video. And now I would like to recommend you to watch more videos we recorded with ZonGuru and to see how this tool can help you in your Amazon business and explore different features and opportunities you can have using this software.